Hello everyone. Welcome to IAS. Let's discuss today's prelims topics. Question 1 with reference to Global Slavery Index 2023, consider the following statements. 1. Among the G20 nations, India tops the list with 11 million people working as forced laborers, followed by China, Russia, Indonesia, Turkey, and the US. 2. There is an internationally recognized definition of modern slavery. 3. Group of 20 nations are contributing to a 25% rise over the last 5 years, as their trade operations and global supply chains allow for human rights abuses. Which of the following given above are correct? A. 1 only. B. 1 and 3 only. C. 1, 2, and 3. D. 2 and 3 only. The answer is B. Rights group Walk Free Foundation on 24th May released the Global Slavery Index 2023, an assessment of modern slavery conditions in 160 countries. The index uses data released by the International Labour Organization, ILO, Walk Free, and the International Organization for Migration, IOM, last year to illustrate how modern slavery is hidden in plain sight. The data gains significance as India holds the G20 presidency this year, with a focus on sustainable development and climate change mitigation. While there is no singular internationally recognized definition of modern slavery, it includes practices of forced labor, forced marriage, debt bondage, commercial sexual exploitation, human trafficking, slavery-like practices, and the sale and exploitation of children. Any situation where threats, violence, coercion, and deception prevent a person from refusing or leaving. Question 2 with reference to World Health Assembly, consider the following statements. 1. The World Health Assembly is the decision-making body of WHO. 2. It is attended by delegations from all WHO member states and focuses on a specific health agenda prepared by the Executive Board. 3. The Health Assembly is held annually in Paris, France. Which of the following given above are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 1 and 3 only. C. 1, 2 and 3. D. 3 only. The answer is A. The Health Assembly is held annually in Geneva, Switzerland. Question 3. Consider the following statements. 1. Article 298 grants the center and the state governments the power to carry on trade or business, acquire, hold, and dispose of property, and make contracts for any purpose. 2. Articles 298 and 299 came after the Constitution came into effect and the government entered into contracts even in the pre-independence era. 3. According to the Crown Proceedings Act of 1947, the Crown can also be sued in court for a contract it entered into. Which of the following given above are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 1 only. C. 1, 2 and 3. D. 2 and 3 only. The answer is A. Article 298 grants the center and the state governments the power to carry on trade or business, acquire, hold, and dispose of property, and make contracts for any purpose, while Article 299 delineates the manner in which these contracts will be concluded. Articles 298 and 299 came after the Constitution came into effect and the government entered into contracts even in the pre-independence era. According to the Crown Proceedings Act of 1947, the Crown could not be sued in court for a contract it entered into. Article 299 of the Constitution provides that all contracts made in the exercise of the executive power of the Union or of a state shall be expressed to be made by the President or by the Governor of the state, and that all such contracts and assurances of property made in the exercise of that power shall be executed on behalf of the President or the Governor by persons in a manner as directed and authorized by them. Question 4. Consider the following statements. 1. The 41st International Civil Aviation Organization (ICAO) Assembly adopted a long-term global aspirational goal (LUTAG) for international aviation of net zero carbon emissions by 2060 in support of the UNFCCC Paris Agreement's goal to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius and reach net zero by 2060. 2. India has pledged net zero by 2070 and reduced the carbon intensity of its economy by less than 45% by 2030 and urged developed countries to provide climate finance of $1 trillion at the earliest. Which of the following given above is correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. The answer is B. The 41st International Civil Aviation Organization (ICAO) Assembly adopted a long-term global aspirational goal (LUTAG) for international aviation of net zero carbon emissions by 2050 in support of the UNFCCC Paris Agreement's goal to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius and reach net zero by 2050. India also sought ICAO's support to achieve sustainability goals alongside other competing priorities such as cybersecurity, growing aspirations of passengers and industries, building resilience in the aviation system, and developing harmonized standards for advanced air mobility. Question 5. Consider the following statements about the direct seeding method. 1. This method allows the farmers to go ahead with sowing the seed without having to wait for rainfall and without the need for spending a month on growing paddy nurseries and planting them. 2. The method reduces the requirement for water by about 15% as the logging of water happens only after a month or so. 3. Although direct seeding is widely practiced in the United States and South America, productivity challenges have limited its wide-scale adoption in Asia, where 90% of the global rice is produced and consumed. Which of the following given above is correct? A. 2 only. B. 1 and 3 only. C. 1, 2 and 3. D. 2 and 3 only. The answer is C. Advantages of direct seeding. No significant reduction of yield under optimal conditions. Savings on irrigation water by 12 to 35% under efficient water management practices. Reduces labor and drudgery by eliminating seedling uprooting and transplanting. Reduces cultivation time, energy, and cost. No plant stress from transplanting. Faster maturation of crops. Lower GHG emissions. Mechanized DSR provides employment opportunities for youth through a service provision business model. Increases total income by reducing the cost of cultivation. Question 6. Consider the following statements about Mumbai-Pune Deccan Queen train. 1. Deccan Queen was the first deluxe train that was introduced to serve the two important cities of Mumbai and Pune. 2. The name of the train was a nod to Mumbai, which was also known as the Queen of Deccan. 3. Deccan Queen was India's first superfast train, first long-distance electric-hauled train, first vestibuled train, the first train to have a women-only car, and the first train to feature a dining car. Which of the following given above is correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 1 and 3 only. C. 1, 2 and 3. D. 2 only. The answer is B. India's first deluxe train, the iconic Deccan Queen, completed 93 years of operations between Pune and Mumbai. The train had its maiden run on 1st June 1930, which was a major mark in the history of the Great Indian Peninsula, GIP, Railway, the predecessor of Central Railways. The name of the train was a nod to Pune, which was also known as the Queen of Deccan. Question 7. With reference to the Gurani tribe, consider the following statements. 1. Gurani are a group of culturally related indigenous peoples of South America. 2. Although their demographic dominance of the region has been reduced by European colonization and the commensurate rise of mestizos, there are contemporary Gurani populations in Paraguay and parts of Argentina and Bolivia. 3. In modern Spanish, Gurani also refers to any Paraguayan national in the same way that the French are sometimes called Gauls. Which of the following given above are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 1 and 3 only. C. 1, 2 and 3. D. 3 only. The answer is C. Question 8. The Union Cabinet had recently approved the constitution and empowerment of an interministerial committee, IMC. Consider the following statements about this. 1. For facilitation of the world's largest grain storage plan in cooperative sector by the convergence of various schemes. 2. An interministerial committee, IMC, will be constituted under the chairmanship of the Minister of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare. Which of the following given above are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. The answer is A. The Union Cabinet had recently approved the constitution and empowerment of an interministerial committee, IMC, for the facilitation of the world's largest grain storage plan in cooperative sector by the convergence of various schemes of the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution and Ministry of Food Processing Industries. An interministerial committee, IMC, will be constituted under the chairmanship of the Minister of Cooperation, with the Minister of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare, Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Minister of Food Processing Industries and secretaries concerned as members to modify guidelines implementation methodologies of the schemes of the respective ministries as and when the need arises, within the approved outlays and prescribed goals, for facilitation of the world's largest grain storage plan in cooperative sector by the creation of infrastructure such as godowns, etc. for agriculture and allied purposes, at selected viable primary agricultural credit societies, tax. Thank you everyone. Do subscribe to this channel. Use code SPLIVE to join Unacademy.